Hello trainers, Ganeto here, and today we're diving together into Great League with the Toxapex team. Before we start though, I know what you're wondering, what is that behind my back? Well, it is all the Halloween preparation that we're doing. All the house is with that, spiders and stuff like that. We are still building things and we're having quite the action here. So now back to the video. We're having an Obstagoon up on the lead, pretty solid one. I do not like Obstact at all, so I'm just gonna use counter cross chop and Night Slash. At the back we got Toxapex with its standard moveset, a pretty solid Pokemon that if you can play it right, you can destroy down its counters with the other Pokemon. Well, this Pokemon can counter down certain elements, especially the fairy types. And of course, as a closer, we're gonna keep, or a safe pick, safe switch, we're gonna pick our Trevenant, which is gonna cover a lot of Pokemon of the meta. And of course, even against dark types, you have seed bombs which can go back to back and provide so much pressure to the opponent that eventually they're gonna do a mistake or two. We start off by having the most horrible lead scenario ever, the Toxic Rock. This Pokemon with its counters is just gonna shred apart our Obstagoon. We have to take note of that, so we're just gonna see now the switch out to the Toxapex. Normally my safe switch is gonna be Trevenant with this line, but I use Toxapex here because I know that I need to keep Trevenant to sweep at the end game. This is my only chance in winning the entire thing, so keeping Trevenant sometimes as a closer, especially against the fighter up on the lead, you have to use it as a closer since you want to have the upper hand on the end game. So Toxapex now is gonna try and do its best against this Mantibass. We had the time to go for another Brian since they decide to go ahead and farm us down. They decide to let that go, which is such a huge mistake because now Toxic Rock is gonna be paired up with my Trevenant. So Trevenant now is gonna be on a very good spot overall, and I'm expecting them to go ahead and have another counter to Obstagoon. That was too easy for the Mantibass to fall down, so I'm just gonna go here for the seed bomb, able to take their shield out of the way, and now we have one more seed bomb ready to go. I'm expecting them to go ahead and use a mud bomb here, but I have to block no matter what. Here it is the bait, and switch out immediately to the Obstagoon. Hopefully that passes through. There is gonna be a lantern, and yes, battlers, now we got the upper hand. Let's go now with the Night Slash. We're gonna take the boost, they're gonna see that, and we're gonna take this really nice victory. Into the next one now against the Altaria up on the lead. Another bad lead for our team because we do not have a clear answer to this Pokemon, so we have to stay in with Obstagoon, do whatever we can, and then farm down with Toxapex and then see how they respond to that. Most probably when my opponent has an Altaria, I'm most likely gonna see at the back something like a Fairy counter, a Nidoqueen or a Steel type, so let's hope they have a Nidoqueen at the back. Here comes now the Night Slash. We have the time to go for another one. Yes, we do, trainers. We're gonna hold on to those bad IVs with the Night Slash, able to do some cheap damage to the Altaria. They're gonna go straight for that Sky Attack, which makes a lot of sense, but in the process we're gonna farm down with our Toxapex because we can take all the damage towards our advantage. They have at the back the Swampert. This is looking bad, and we have to switch out to the Trevenant. So Trevenant is gonna be able to destroy down Swampert. Obviously we're gonna call the bait here just a Hydro Cannon, and they're not switching out. What are you doing, trainer? What do you have at the back? So we're gonna be able to block the next move, which is gonna be another Hydro Cannon, but at this range it hurts a lot. They seem like they're pretty weak to Trevenant at the back, so they have a Trevenant of their own, able to reach to that final seed bomb before fainting. Down we go, but now Toxapex can come into the fight and completely farm down their Trevenant. We have to take one move. It is gonna be the Shadow Ball though, however it is not gonna be that much of a deal because Toxapex is such a huge defensive Pokemon that we can take those moves. A very good lead into the next one with Trevenant up on the lead. So our boy here, our Goonie monster here, is just gonna go ahead and resist those Shadow Balls by a lot. Only Seed Bomb can hurt us, but they need 3 of those, so we're gonna be able to reach to another Night Slash before fainting here, and we can take one more Seed Bomb into our face. So here comes now the Night Slash. We have to go ahead, use this move, finish off the Trevenant. Let's see now how they respond, and they have the Lantern. I'm not gonna switch out at all because I prefer the Lantern with my Trevenant, and if I switch out to the Trevenant or the Toxapex, well, I'm gonna have the lower hand for sure. So here comes now the Stunfisk into play, and it seems like they're kinda weak at the back against Trevenant. So we're gonna be able to take here that Rock Slide, and as it seems I'm gonna keep my Toxapex for the latter matchup while keeping my Trevenant alive here. I'm gonna go for the Shadow Ball. They decided to take it because it was too early, I believe, I don't know. They had 2 shields and perhaps they were expecting a Seed Bomb, so I went for the big move, it landed, that's the end of the deal, and we're gonna be able here to block as well, able to farm down the Stunfisk, and right after that we're gonna see that they're gonna come in with a Lantern, so we have to switch out to our Toxapex. Let's see now how much damage Thunderbolt does. Not enough, trainers. They cannot even threat us in putting us on the surf range, so they have to go for another Thunderbolt, and with the Water Gun damage, well, this is not gonna happen soon. So here comes now another move. Just another Thunderbolt, down we go at this point, but we have so much energy on our Trevenant. Here comes the Seed Bomb, down goes Lantern, and now we can safely farm down because they are energy dry. Into the next one now against the Altaria, up on the lead, another bad lead, 3 bad leads, 1 kinda good, so we're gonna see now the Night Slashes once again from our Obstagoon. Can we reach to a double Night Slash before fainting? Let's see together. Here comes now the Night Slash number 2, we have to take the move, just remember that you do not have to shield anything, even if they finish you off before you reach to that third Night Slash, you still have Toxapex, it can come down and finish off that Altaria. Look at that, down we go this time. The IVs really matter on this matchup if you want to have a closer matchup against Altaria, so we're gonna go in now with Toxapex, we will try to farm down completely here, and they're gonna go for another Sky Attack right on the edge there, so we're gonna be able to be left with almost red HP. Gonna go out to our Trevenant, they have an Empoleon and a Toxicroak at the back, so now we have to play accordingly. I think I made a mistake here because they had to shield, so I went for the Shadow Ball, no, the Seed Bomb, okay, no mistake at all. So just gonna go with the Seed Bomb, able to take out a shield, but this is not gonna happen. I was hoping I could take out the shield and they did not, so I will go here for the maximum energy potential thrower. So we're gonna throw double Seed Bomb here. We have to block now the Drill Peck, they have 2 shields while we have none, but hopefully we have more energy than them, so we have more play on our hands, so we have to go here for another Seed Bomb. This is gonna do so much damage, so they have to block, and at this point I will try to catch on my Toxapex. We are already there though on the Sludge Wave, they are not gonna throw and they will try to farm us down. This is not gonna happen, not today, since we have so much energy from that Altaria. And even resisted, even against a very bad matchup, you saw that we threw so many moves and we actually took the win against Empoleon. A really solid win, and now we're gonna move forward into the next one against the Sableye up on the lead. This is not the best lead scenario for them, so we're gonna be able to go ahead and use some Night Slashes to finish them off. Foul play was a bait, so that means now that they might be able to throw a return, so perhaps I have to go ahead and shield this move. It's gonna be just another foul play, but doesn't matter, we finished off Sableye, we have a decent amount of energy and also a decent amount of HP. We're gonna be able to go ahead and switch out to our Trevenant as soon as I saw that fairy typing at that upper corner, but it's gonna be just a powder snow version, which means that we have to take the Weather Ball, down we go, but we took a shield in the process. This is really good for us right now because we can go in with Toxapex and start doing some solid work. Seems like they have a Galarian Stunfisk at the back, so I'm just gonna throw the Brine here, able to do some cheap damage, and I want to switch out right after that. However, for some weird reason I decided to stay in. That was definitely a mistake. I'm gonna block the Earthquake here and then go ahead with my Cross Chop against that Stunfisk. They are still switch locked, so that gives me the time to go for another Cross Chop, which is gonna be extremely huge for this matchup, and they're gonna throw here at the CMP their their Rock Slide. This is gonna be able to leave us with a minimal amount of HP, and when I see a Powder Snow version of Alolan Ninetales, well, most of the times it doesn't run Psyshock at all. They have Dazzling Gleam, which means now that we can safely farm down here since they have Weather Balls only to threat us with, which are all gonna be resisted, and they still have to reach to that Earthquake with a Stunfisk. However, they are energy dry, which gives us the chance to go ahead and use our Brine to finish off Stunfisk and grab for us a very nice win. Into the next one now against the Hakamo. Obstagoon really has this matchup in its pocket. We are also gonna try to catch at the 4th Dragon Tail, that Brick Break. You already know how crazy Hakamo was at Evolution Cup, so here I knew what to expect, and we're gonna be able to absorb the Brick Break on our Trevenant. They have a Toxapex of their own, which is really nice. They are gonna go for the brine, not gonna shield that for sure. So they have to take now the Shadow Ball. Yes, they have. Down they go. Hakamo returns, able to farm us down. They still need 2 more Dragon Tails to be able to finish us off with the Dragon Claw. So I'm just gonna go ahead in with the Toxapex. Here comes the Dragon Claw, and I will try to go now for a potential Sludge Wave, but instead I'm gonna throw the brine. So they're gonna take the brine, and now I have the time to go ahead, switch out, and since Dragon Tail is gonna be a slow registered move, I'm just gonna take out their shield with my Cross Chop. They decide to block, I decide to block, down they go. And at the back there is gonna be a Swampert. So what I want to do here is to pressure for that second shield of theirs. So I'm just gonna go ahead, use my shield. I want their shield out of the way for sure, because I want to pressure and finish off with the brine with my Toxapex. So at this point I know they're kinda forced to throw their energy. They cannot farm even more energy than they already have. So right here I'm just gonna go ahead and completely farm down instead of throwing the brine. We have the time to go for the Sludge Wave and the flex damage against the Hakamo, and we're gonna grab a very nice victory overall against the Mandibas. And oh boy, I remember this match. We have to go ahead and use our counters, our fists with that Obstagoon. And as you're watching this battle unfolding, because it's gonna take a while, just be sure to leave a huge like before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, because more videos like this, more teams like this are more likely to happen in the future for this channel, and with your help we can do it. So now Obstagoon into the battle, and we're seeing now the aerial ace landing on our Obstagoon. We have another move, another cross chop ready to go. This is gonna leave the Mandibas pretty low, and this means now that we can take the move and try to farm down right after that. However, they switch into the Machamp, able to destroy us down, but that doesn't matter at all, because Mandibas is so low in HP that cannot threat even our Trevenant here. We have to block the Rock Slide. I was trying to go for the 5th cross chop, for the 5th fast attack, which means that I could not have CMP'd with that Rock Slide. Anyways, I'm gonna do the nice farm down a little bit of extra energy, gonna spend the shield in the process, which is really bad, and right now we're gonna see the Dunsparce coming into the fight. Rock Slide is not gonna be enough to finish us off. Dunsparce is a very bad Pokemon offensively, but it is a spammy defensive Pokemon that can threat a lot our team. So here they have the Driller, and I was trying to catch a potential Rock Slide, to be honest, but that was not happening at all. They also passed through those rollouts pretty fast, so now we're gonna be able to take out their shield. They have a pretty bulky team, but with a Glassymon like Machamp in between, which is a pretty nice line overall. So we have to use a shield here, I believe, and with that shield I'm just gonna be able to reach to the brine, finish off the Dunsparce, and now let's see what we can do against the Mandibas, because it comes to the fight, nothing to throw, and we're gonna take a very nice victory here, trainers. Azumarill to the next one, long time no see an Azu, and we're gonna grab this really bad lead, so we have to switch out to our Trevenant. Trevenant is not the best Skarmory counter here, but as you're seeing, we're playing some really nice mind games, because I'm charging up as much as I can all the time. Let's go now with a Seed Bomb. This is gonna take another shield, shield number 2, my brother is calling. So now we're gonna go ahead with the Shadow Ball, able to finish off the Skarmory with a double bait Seed Bomb, right with one Air Slash amount of HP that we have left on our Trevenant. So now we have flipped that bad lead matchup. So now we're gonna be able to face with our Obstagoon the Sableye, while Toxapex is gonna be able to finish off that Azumarill, and this is the reason I like this team. This is the reason I prefer using a backline like this than like any other, since the backline can protect my Obstagoon here from further harm. And you're gonna see how crazily good that Toxapex can be. I was just waiting for that switch timer to fill up. They're gonna go now for a move, for the play rough. I don't care at all. They are just gonna get out of here, since we resist everything and by a lot. Into the next one, trainers, against a Victory Bell Shadow up on the lead, and we have to go for the big move, the Shadow Ball, to finish them off. However, they decide to switch out to that Bastodon, and this is a very good switch for them, but still we're gonna be able to pressure even more here with a second potential Shadow Ball. This is gonna leave that Bastodon right on the red, which which means that we can go in with the Obstagoon, tank the move, and still gonna be able to have a very good matchup against that Victory Bell. What is left to be seen though is gonna be their final Pokemon, so we will try to take a shield out of them here with my Night Slash and then switch out to the Toxapex. Here it is, trainers, Toxapex coming into the fight. Let's see how good it can be against a Grassel team. We're gonna be able to completely farm down here. They have no other time to go for another Leaf Blade, and they have another Razor Leafer, a Grassel team with ABA Razor Leaves. Okay, this is gonna be kind of weird to observe, so we're gonna go here for another Brine. This time we're gonna take their shield out, and we have to rely now on the counter damage to finish off this Torterra. I know they have the move Sandtomb, however I cannot even risk taking the move, and we're able to finish off right on the edge with 1 HP left with our Obstagoon, and we're gonna grab this victory. Azumarill coming in to absorb our Night Slash into the final one, trainers, and we're gonna be able to switch out right after the absorb to our Trevenant, and let's see how they manage to play this matchup. Because I know we can take one Seed Bomb, one Ice Beam for sure, so they're gonna go here for that Play Rough, which is really good for me. I was counting the moves right here, so I have clearly 100 energy on my Trevenant. They're gonna get out of the way, so now we have the time to go for the Shadow Ball on the Trevenant. Are they gonna take it? Of course not. They know better, they're just gonna farm it down, and now Obstagoon can come into the fight. At this amount of HP, one simple Night Slash might do the work, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pressure even more with my Obstagoon's existence. So here comes now another Seed Bomb. I'm just gonna go for another Night Slash. This is gonna do lethal damage, but they have made another switch out to grab on the Galarian Stunfisk. Are you kidding me? I can't catch a break. I'm having such a bad time on GBL right now, so I have to go here for another cross-up, and even though I have so many bad matchups, you are seeing that they believe that with Obstagoon out of the way, they can finish us off with their Pokemon. However, I have now another Night Slash ready to go for the Trevenant, and I'm gonna switch into the Toxapex, force the quit, and grab for us a very nice victory. They're not gonna quit, but yeah, we're gonna take the victory anyways with the Sludge Wave. So that's all, trainers. Thank you for watching, thank you for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't, and I hope to see you all into the next one. Take care, trainers. Choo choo choo.